step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. And I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Whoa, yes, welcome to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, live, large and in charge on this Wednesday morning. What up, guys? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going?
Oh, yeah.
Get in there. I'm very well, man. Feeling so cool. It's just so cool with what's happening in the studio today.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Ridiculously amazing.
What?
And to you at home, a happy Human Rights Day, South Africa.
Yes, of course. It is that public holiday, so people might have snoozed their alarms.
You wonder why the roads were so quiet this
Yeah,
morning,
it's like there's nobody out here. But yes, indeed, a day worthy of celebration and commemoration here in our beautiful Rainbow Nation.
Exactly. But wait, before I do mine.
What?
Good.
Ooh, hello.
Class is in session, yo.
Class in session. We're also catching up with JP Sebastian, and we're talking about the movie Gringo.
Gringo, I love it.
good.
We're going to keep you updated on all the hottest tracks breaking here in South Africa and globally with a fun event.
Speaking of which, breaking events here in the mother city, the Cape Town International Jazz Festival, just around the corner, and we're featuring an act who will be live on that stage, Manny Walters. Man, the dude just sound checked us into next week already.
That's a lot for this time of the day.
Levels.
Yeah, it's
The
amazing.
levels are there. And then, of course, if you want to win a trip for two to Egypt, we've got all the details. You need to keep it tuned in to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
And talking about a trip that could change your life, you could be making your way to the auditions for Presenter Search on 3, which whose auditions start this coming weekend in Port Elizabeth. And you want to be there because, you know what, this could be your dream come true. This could be the result of you being on national television every single day.
We have living
just
proof.
like we are. Exactly, just like
That's how I
Zoe.
gotcha.
And yeah, this could be the start of your dream. So make sure that you get yourself prepped, get all the notes together in your head, do your walk in front of the mirror at home.
From point A to point B.
All of those things and
Watch
bring
yourself.
your A game.
Don't be shy to actually watch yourself before you do
Exactly.
it. Because
You
people
don't
will
have
be
to. You
watching
don't have to
man.
add this part, of course.
I
when
love
you-
it, man. But
Oh,
you gotta
yes.
get down.
But if you want to, you can.
Don't hold a pen, please. Do not hold a pen, but make sure you get down to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Registration is free. Get down there. There are going to be thousands of people there. So get in early if you can, but we'll have details throughout the day, so stay tuned.
Whatever you do not do this. Anyway, let's get the day underway and check out the temperatures all around the city.
Don't hold the pen. Don't hold the pen.
Good morning, team. Very warm welcome from my side as well. And welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very special day. It's Human Rights Day. Let's get into your temperatures quickly. Mild to warm temperatures forecast for this Human Rights Day with thunder showers in and around Gauteng, extending to parts of KZN as well, and also a chance of rain in parts of the eastern and southern Cape coasts. Your temperatures this morning: Polokwane 18 minimum, reaching a high of 28. Mbombela 20, 32. Pretoria 16, 28. Johannesburg 15, 25. Mahikeng starting off on 16 with the maximum 27. Klerksdorp 16, 25. Kimberley starting off on 14 minimum and your maximum 23. Bloemfontein 12 and a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Nice and hot one for Richards Bay, 21 minimum with a maximum of 33 degrees. Pietermaritzburg 15, 29. Durban 20, 27. Mthatha 14, 22. East London 16, 23. Cradock starting off on 12 minimum with a maximum 25 degrees. Port Elizabeth 14, 22. George 14 and a maximum of 19 degrees. Sutherland 8 minimum reaching a warmer 22. Cape Town 15, 22. Worcester 12 minimum with a maximum 23. Springboks 13, 27. And Uppington starting off on 15 with a maximum of 28. And as always, please remember to use water very sparingly, especially if you are in Cape Town. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6:30 bulletin. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of your Wednesday. I'm back just after 7.
Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, of course, it is a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's time to find out what happened on this day in history.
So on this day, we return to 1910 and we look here, of course, here in South Africa, where we fell under full administration of Namibia in 1920, or at least we took full administration of Namibia. And that is something we share with our African brothers and sisters. But let's look at what's gone down on this day here
in 1965, exactly, where 3,200 protesters led by Martin Luther King Jr. marched from Selma to Montgomery in Alabama to demonstrate, of course, their desire of the African American citizens to exercise their right to vote. And I mean, did you watch that movie? It was probably one of the most heart-wrenching and inspiring movies I've ever watched in my life. It is amazing.
Still, I think, learn lessons today.
Yeah.
Then, of course, on the 21st of March in 1990, Namibia became an independent country, and San Nujoma was unanimously declared president.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And then, of course, the classic musical film Annie, about the famous curly redhead orphan girl, was released in cinemas in 1982, starring Albert Finney and Eileen Quinn. And of course, made those iconic words, "The sun will come out tomorrow." Come on, bet your bottom dollar.
I'd love to know how many times it's been remade. Well, that's our bite-sized dose of what's gone down on this day in history. Go out there, seize it, make it one for the history books.
I was trying to remember whether Consider Yourself was from Annie or not. The Consider Yourself,
No,
it's Oliver Twist, isn't
It's
it?
Oliver Twist, I think so.
Anyway, that's a movie I watched a long time ago. But speaking of movies, JP Sebastian will be joining us to share some of the latest movie news of movies releasing at the silver screen this coming weekend. Gringo being one of them.
And then we also connect with the 5FM team to find your top hits, in fact, the top 40 tracks for this week.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a sensational start to your dreams as a television presenter, well, here it is. This coming Sunday, the 25th of March, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. You need to make your way there to be there for the auditions of Presenter Search on 3.
That's right. It's for 18 years and older, and registration starts at 8 a.m. and it will continue all the way through till 5 p.m. You don't have to register online. You can do all of that at the stadium on Sunday.
Absolutely. For all the information you need, search for or go to presentersearchon3.com. And whatever you do, don't do this. welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're live, large and in charge on this Wednesday morning. Listen, if you haven't heard yet, this weekend is a big one. You've got to make your way to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth on the 25th of March. 8 o'clock in the morning, registration starts. What am I talking about? Presenter search on 3. Your chance to be the TV star you've always wanted to be. You've got to be there so that you can enjoy the fun and excitement and all the elements that are going to be forming part of the auditions. And the cool thing, McCafe is the headline sponsor. So while you're waiting in those long queues, they'll be making it even more bearable for you by providing you with delicious McCafe coffee and treats for you to
just
enjoy.
Like us. Just like us. Now, all you have to do is arrive at the venue and register at the gate. And if you've ever dreamed of being on TV, then this is your shot.
Yeah.
You only get one shot. I was going to do that thing of Eminem.
Go
didn't
for
work
it.
out. You can also visit Presenter Search on 3.com for all of the audition details and, of course, a list of venues for a city near you.
And whatever you do, don't do this. It comes as like a T's and C's at the end of every one of these.
Yeah, T's and C's apply.
Anyway, let's talk about some exciting news from our African scene of entertainment, because there's lots going on, isn't there?
There's a lot going on in Africa, and we thought we'll just, broaden it out, Well, in entertainment news from Africa, we turn our attention to Nigeria, where award-winning singer Tiwa Savage and her husband T-Bulls are making their split official, as the couple have apparently begun official divorce proceedings. Now, Tiwa and her husband's marital problems first became public in 2016 when T-Bulls attempted suicide, which is, of course, always a very difficult thing. The couple have tried to repair the relationship, but clearly the challenges were too great.
Yeah, and apparently, rumour has it that T-Bulls is now relocated to the United States to kind of start anew, fresh, under a life coach, and Tiwa is going to be focusing on her music, trying to release new music right now, just to kind of keep her head, I guess, straight in what she's doing. It's really sad when things like this happen.
But at least they're both healing individually, and who knows what could happen down the line, hey?
Absolutely.
Who knows? Also about who knows is who says rappers can't be media moguls as well. I'm talking about 29-year-old Nigerian rapper Olamide, who is the first entertainer in the country to own a TV station. Drops mic, walks away.
I thought you were going to say a TV. I was like, continue almost.
We have
That's
moved
incredible.
On. A TV station. Now, the station is called Voice of the Streets, and the rapper launched the station with an announcement on social media. He also released a brand new single called, and you guessed it, the track's named after Cristiano Ronaldo. So, it's called Ronaldo, and it's named after Cristiano Ronaldo. Olamide dedicated his latest venture to his son and, of course, his late mom, and promises fans that this is how they can have their voices heard. And that's the latest entertainment news from Nigeria.
I was just thinking now that we've already got Maradona.
Yeah.
Now there's Cristiano Ronaldo. Now somebody has to make a song about...
Who? Tell us.
Helman Kelele. You don't know Helman Kelele?
No.
The Midnight Express. I'm moving to Australia. Leah doesn't know Helman Kelele.
Now you want to keep it right here. Keep it in South Africa. Why? Because a South African artist has finally taken the top spot on the 5FM Top 40 charts. But who will it be? Let's find out from Mr. Nick Hammond.
What's up, guys? It's me, Nick Hammond, back to recap the 5FM Top 40 from this past weekend, beginning with the brand new entries onto the charts. And starting at number 40, it's the couple with Good Luck, called Take It All.
You can take it all now, take it all from me. Take it all now, take it all from me. Take it all now, take it all from me.
The second new entry pick I've gone for came in at number 39. It's new kid on the block, Bazzy. He's a social media star, only 20 years old. The track is called Be Mine.
I just had to let you know you're mine.
Looking at my move and shaker picks for the week, the first one after 2 weeks in the charts has gone from 23 to 24. It's AKA with Sweet Fire.
Sweet fire, fire in my mouth.
Then my second move and shaker pick, jumping from 30 to 21. It's Marshmello and Anne-Marie. The tune is called Friends.
Haven't I made it obvious? Haven't I made it clear? Want me to spell it out for you? F-R-I-N-D-S.
Let's take a look at the top 10, beginning with a former number 1. It's Camila Cabello and Young Thug with Havana.
Oh, but my heart is in Havana. My heart is in Havana. Havana.
Taking the number 9 spot this week off the Black Panther soundtrack, it's Kendrick Lamar and SZA with All the Stars. Then at number 8 on the 5FM Top 40, it's Shekinah with Please Mister.
Please,
Morris that got your number 7 spot this week on the 5FM Top 40 with a track called The Middle.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little.
And at number 6, it's Jess Glenn with Macklemore called These Days.
I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days.
Dropping one from last week's number 4 to this week's number 5, it's Bruno Mars and Cardi B with Finesse. The previous week's number 1 is now at number 4. It's Drake on the 5FM Top 40 with God's Plan.
God's plan, God's plan. I hold back, sometimes I won't, yeah.
At number 3 for 2 weeks in a row, it's Camila Cabello with Never Be the Same. And at number 2 this week, it's Ed Sheeran and Beyonce, former number 1. It's called Perfect.
Darling, you look perfect tonight.
Guys, as always, thanks so much for watching me, Nick Hammond, recapping the 5FM Top 40. Make sure to keep listening to me on Hammond Time, Monday to Friday, 9 to 12 on 5FM. And of course, every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we find out who takes that number 1 spot on the 5FM Top 40. Speaking of which, this past weekend, it's local for the first time in a while, which is super exciting. It's Prince KB with Club Controller.
Some brilliant music coming out of South Africa. Exciting times. Also talking about coming out of South Africa, we've got 2 South African actors in this next movie. We're talking about the movie Gringo. Before we chat to JP Sebastian, let's take a look at the film.
There it is again. What is that smell?
Fat Willie's barbecue. I always bring it for Angel. Angel, buenos dias.
¿Cómo estás, Harold?
There you go.
Gracias.
Allow me to introduce our co-presidents, Mr. Rusk and Miss Mackinson.
Yep, hola. Yes, sir.
Permítame presentarle nuestros residentes, señor Rusk y su mocasín.
New app. Amazing.
You know what else is amazing is actually learning a foreign language. Te quiero Taco Bell, huh?
That's sensational.
That's sensational. Oh, I can't wait to see this movie. I really hope that it's good, of course, starring our very own Charlize Theron and Shalto Copley. Vanalas. How are you, JP Sebastian?
I am running on 2 hours of sleep.
You are? Well, you look good for 2 hours of sleep.
Watching someone who's probably going to collapse in the next 5 minutes.
It's okay.
Going to take a
just
nap on TV.
Just be awesome now, and then you can just be like, finished here after.
2 guns, 1 gun. Hey, hi.
You good?
Yeah, coping.
Let's talk Gringo, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that, I think. So, like you said, Charlize Theron, she's one of my favorite things about this movie, in fact. Like, what she's slowly starting to explore now in comedy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Why am I so tight and curled up like a tarantula?
Relax, yeah. Put your feet up.
She's just dynamite. She's like a firecracker wrapped in swear words in this. Like, she goes raw. But anyway, so that's her. I'll get back to her in a minute. The story being that David Oyelowo, who, yes, I got the name right. It's very tricky to say sometimes. We might have known him from Selma. That was Ava DuVernay's first movie, where he played Dr. Martin Luther King, who I think you
just
spoke
saw
about
now. Yeah,
absolutely. And so in this, he plays. It's quite a lovable sort of character who, thinks he's working for the team and whatnot, but actually the team's conspiring against him. Sort of story. He works in this pharmaceutical company where they're planning on going toward a medical marijuana option in their medicine business, but down in Mexico, they have a side business with a drug cartel. So he gets set up to be the fall guy when they have to tell the cartel, we can't have this relationship anymore because we're about to go legit in the United States.
Yeah.
So actually fabricates his own kidnapping. Because he feels so hard done by Joel Edgerton and Charlize Theron, who are the bigger bosses in the company, and he feels like, well, you guys screwed me, so I'm going to get my own back.
Yeah.
And then that's how the shenanigans ensue. So dark comedy.
Dark comedy, for sure. Well, when you said Charlize is very raw and there's lots of swear words that come, imagine that. It's nice to see her in a role like this. I think the last one we saw her in was Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
And this is a bit,
I suppose there's a lot more like kick butt stuff she's doing. She was also in Fate of the Furious, where she was
Incredible.
And then for a lot of people, like, oh, woman as a bad guy, it was like such a sort of a landmark thing. But for me, Charlize, Joel Edgerton, maybe even David Oyelowo, like they're all sort of very underdeveloped in this. The actors do just fine, but it's one of these rare movies. It's 2 comedies I've seen now in a couple of years where you're watching a joke being set up and you're going, here comes the sweet spot. And then they miss the golden opportunity. It's like the boat sails on some really just great potential moments. So like I said, she could be totally beast in this. She could be as ridiculous as like Ron Burgundy from Anchorman or whatnot, like over the top, just such a sizable sort of character. But unfortunately, they don't give her enough to sort of chew on.
Oh, we hate that. Talking about chewing on, let's talk popcorns. How many popcorns are you chewing on when it comes to this movie?
Man, I'm not just being the Grinch, I swear. If you wanted to go see a comedy, I was really pleasantly surprised by Game Night. You still need to see that first.
Yes.
If you run out of options, this is really middle of the road. 5 out of 10.
Sure. 5 very dry popcorns out of 10. That is what JP has given the movie. Gringo, if you like stale popcorn, go and check this one out.
Out in the Mexican desert.
All right, so you know what? We're going to be taking a very quick break. We have a brilliant show still lined up for you on your Wednesdays. Human Rights Day, a public holiday, yes.
That's right. Well, we also have a way for you to win 2 tickets. In fact, a trip for 2 to Egypt, and that's all through Tomb Raider competition. We've got all of those information coming your way after the break.
Absolutely, and then here, warming up his vocals ahead of the Cape Town International Jazz Festival, Manny Walters. He's here sounding absolutely phenomenal, so don't miss his performance coming up in the next couple of minutes, so don't miss that. But you know what? There's also a very big weekend. There's been much talk and much hype around the presenter search on 3 auditions taking place. They're officially kicking off this weekend in Port Elizabeth at the Nelson Mandela Day Stadium.
That's right. Well, you competing for your spot on either Top Billing, Expresso or Afternoon Express, and it's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. Presenter search on 3.com. That's where all the details are at. We'll see you now.
Hear me now first, man. Yeah, we're playing that now. Is it possible to get that monitor closer? Is it possible for that to be a bit closer? Okay, but now come closer.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us on this very important day, Human Rights Day. But of course, a big weekend coming up, guys.
Absolutely, man. We can't wait for it. We've been talking about a presenter search on 3. It is back. It's kicking off in Port Elizabeth this weekend at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium.
I know, and this season's super cool. Pabi Malloy being the host of the season. So make sure you get to those auditions nationwide, and all of those details can be found on presenter search on 3.com.
Absolutely, and it's really all about uncovering hidden talent, because we have so much talent in this beautiful country of ours. We've seen the likes of Jade Hubner coming out of the previous season. She's on top billing, of course. Danilo Acquista rocking it on Afternoon Express, and our very
Jonathan
own,
well,
Jonathan Moitali, Simba Mere as well, half man, half amazing. Who can forget him? Absolutely brilliant. And our beautiful Zoe Brown, dazzling us every single morning on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Hey,
you done made it, girl. You done made it.
It's through those auditions that I ended up here. So make sure you get to the auditions in the city nearest to you.
All right, well, your Wednesday morning is about to take a left turn into the nasty zone. The Cape Town International Jazz Festival is just around the corner, and we have one of the featured acts at the show this year live in our studio, Manny Walters. Hear Me Now. On your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's a celebration. Oh man, listen, it's so amazing to have you here. I just had to, you worked that up in me right now.
Dope, man, I'm glad we're here.
Listen, how excited are you about the Cape Town International Jazz Fest?
Oh, very excited, man. Really excited to showcase my own brand of soul music. Yeah, honored to be a part of the festival, man. Yeah.
Oh man, it's going to be amazing. We'll have more from Manny, but later on. In the meantime, you link up with us on our social media platforms and let us know what you thought about that performance of Hear Me Now.
Well, in the national news this morning, the suspension of South African Revenue Service boss Tom Moyane is a measure aimed at restoring confidence in the running of state-owned entities. This was one of the reasons President Cyril Ramaphosa mentioned when suspending Moyane after he had declined to voluntarily resign. Ramaphosa informed Moyane that his suspension was partly due to the way he handled the matter of his deputy, Jonas Makwakwa. Another issue was the management of VAT refunds, which Ramaphosa says has placed SARS in disrepute and seriously affected the morale amongst taxpayers. Despite being flooded by millions of immigrants fleeing persecution and economic meltdown in their countries, the South African government strives to provide a safe environment for them, while at the same time balancing the need to provide much-needed services and security to its 50 million-plus citizens. This was stated by Home Affairs Minister Malusi Gigaba yesterday when briefing members of the diplomatic corps on the UN Global Compact on migration. He also said Pretoria provides services to millions of immigrants at a significant economic cost. Now moving further abroad, China's President Xi Jinping delivered a blistering nationalist speech yesterday, warning against any attempts to split China. Xi's address capped an annual session of the National People's Congress that paved the way for him to rule for life as China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong pushed through his vision of guiding the country through a new era of unrivaled global military and economic supremacy. But Xi's speech was also a reminder that the Communist Party reigns over the country's affairs. He said history has already proven that only socialism can survive China. And then finally, our last news story is very sad indeed. Animal lovers across the globe are mourning the death of Sudan, the world's last surviving male northern white rhino, who was 45 and lived at the Ol Pejeta Conservancy in Kenya. He had to be put to sleep after age-related complications had worsened significantly. His death leaves only 2 females, his daughter and granddaughter, and of the subspecies alive in the world, they are the only ones. Hope for preserving the northern white rhino now lives in developing in vitro fertilization techniques. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's get a look at what's happening in the world of sport. Graham Richards has the details.
Let's start with the good news first. This morning, Proteas paceman Kagiso Rabada has been cleared to play in the remaining tests against Australia after his 2-match ban was overturned. Following a review, Rabada was cleared of the ICC's Level 2 charge for an altercation with Steve Smith. Instead, the paceman picked up a demerit point and was fined 25% of his match fee. Proteas and Australia resume their battle tomorrow with the 3rd test in Cape Town. Then on to rugby, former Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has been appointed as the new sports director and head coach of Stade Francais. In his first job since coaching the Boks, Meyer will need to revive the French side's top 14 season after a run of poor form has left them with just 1 win in 7 matches. Stade Francais will be in top 14 action this weekend as they face Toulouse. Elsewhere, Montpellier host Castres, while Lyon, they're up against Racing 92. Then bringing it back home for athletics news, South Africa's Ndlovu Manyonga has parted ways with coach Neil Cornelius following a 3-year partnership. Under the guidance of Cornelius, the long jumper won silver at the Rio Olympics, then gold at last year's London World Championships, and was crowned champion of the 2017 Diamond League. So without Coach Cornelius in his corner, Manyonga's next big challenge will be his quest for gold at the Commonwealth Games, and that gets underway next month. Then back to the world's toughest mountain biking race. Manuel Fumic and Enrique Avancini of Cannondale Factory Racing claimed their 2nd successive win at the Cape Epic with victory in Stage 2 yesterday. The 106-kilometer route ended in a sprint where Fumic and Avancini finished 1.7 seconds ahead of Centurion boards Nicolas Robach and Daniel Geismer. In the ladies' race, Annika Langvaart and Kate Courtney, they claimed their 2nd stage win as well to hold on to the overall race lead. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Thank you, Graham. Well, just a quick traffic update. Due to the public holiday, all major roads are currently free flowing. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
The Expresso traffic report gets you on the right route. There's 10,000 Rand to be won daily. Want to be a winner? Spend 300 Rand or more on fuel at Caltex, keep your receipt, and enter the hashtag Fuel Your Wallet competition by SMSing Caltex Expresso and your name to 43366.
Right, it's just after 7 o'clock. Let's quickly get into your temperatures once again on your Wednesday morning. And mild to warm temperatures are forecast for this Human Rights Day with thunder showers in and around the Gauteng area. That's extending into KZN. And then there's also a chance of rain in parts of the eastern and the southern Cape Coast today. Polokwane is 18 a minimum with a maximum of 28 degrees. Mbombela 20, 32. Pretoria 16 a minimum with a maximum 28. Johannesburg 15, 25. Mahikeng 16, 27. Klerksdorp on 16 as well, minimum with a maximum 25. Kimberley 14, 23. Bloemfontein on 12 minimum and a mild maximum of 24 degrees. Richards Bay 21 and a hot maximum of 33. Pietermaritzburg 15 minimum with a maximum 29. Durban 20, 27. Mthatha 14, 22. East London 16, 23. Cradock 12 minimum with a maximum 25. Port Elizabeth 14, 22. George 14 with a maximum cool 19. Sutherland 8 minimum warming up to 22. Cape Town 15, 22. Worcester 12, 23. Springbok 13, 27. Uppington 15 with a maximum 28 degrees. And as always, please remember to use water very sparingly, especially in Cape Town. That's a wrap of your weather and temperatures for the 7 o'clock bulletin. A last update heading your way just after 8.
Thanks very much, Ewan. Now, one of 2018's biggest big screen releases made its start as a revolutionary video game. And so today, Lara Croft returns tougher than ever for Tomb Raider. Helming the heroism is a new generation, exceptionally talented Academy Award winner Alicia Vikander. And using her grit, her wit and adventurous spirit and the irrepressible will to survive, Miss Croft must uncover the mystery of her father's disappearance. But the young Tomb Raider's origins are also intensely physically forged too. The gorgeous Oscar winner pulls no punches and put in some serious sweat, so it's going to be action-packed, fast-paced and guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat and by the tips of your fingers and toes. So if you also have a thirst for adventure, then we have just the competition for you, because Expresso, Warner Brothers Pictures and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Pictures is celebrating the Tomb Raider's return by giving you the opportunity to win the chance of a lifetime trip for two to Egypt valued at 75,000 Rand. Now you too can explore the ancient wonders of Luxor, you can be awed by the grandeur of the Valley of the Kings, experience the secrets of King Tutankhamun's tomb and meet real-life mummies in the flesh. Well, figuratively speaking, that is. So to be our lucky winner, visit the Expresso Facebook page, find the competition post, and tell us about a moment in your life where you proudly rose to the occasion, or you overcame the odds, or you even achieved the unexpected, just like Lara Croft does in Tomb Raider. The competition closes this Friday, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Well, right now let's take a look at what it really takes to be Lara Croft in Tomb Raider.
Lara, your father's gone. You can pick up where he left off. I'm not a freaking superhero.
Now I see the likeness. Recklessness.
What do you know about my father?
Our world is in danger.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, a quick tech update, and it seems like the idea of self-driving cars, that concept's being put on hold due to an incident that took place recently.
Yeah, just have a look on social media for that one as well. Then, of course, we are also taking a moment to recognize World Down Syndrome Day. A lot of families out there affected by this, so we connect with you as well.
That's right. And of course, you know that presenter search on 3 auditions are kicking off nationwide this Sunday, the 25th of March, and that is at PE at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. So come on down, bring your friends along. I have to say, when I went to go and audition, we were a group of friends that shared a class together that went and auditioned together. It did. It's nice to have that moral support.
Oh, I love that, man. Of course, our title sponsor, Mac Cafe, will be looking after you as well. Not that you need another reason to get down there, but relax, be yourself. You've got 15 seconds to make a great impression. So start working on those auditions now. We'll have more updates throughout the show, but thanks for joining us on our Human Rights Day.
It feels good to celebrate the incredible talent and standard of excellence honored at the 2018 South African Film and Television Awards. The SABC is home to a wealth of television presenting and hosting talent, and we are so proud to see these individuals get well-deserved recognition for their work. Congratulations to SABC talent Babi Moloi and Masechaba Ndlovu for their nominations as Best Talk Show Host. And for nominations in the Best TV Presenter Award, SABC hosts Lerato Khanyago, Ntokozo Mbuli, Tumelo Mototwani, and Tumi Morake are in the running. Remember, you can vote for your favorite TV presenter by SMSing the letter of your favorite to 48430. SMSs cost R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. Don't miss the 12th annual SAFTA's live broadcast on SABC2 on the 24th of March and see the stars of local film and television shine.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, welcome back to the show. Now, in case you don't know it yet, this weekend is a biggie, and that's because Presenter Search on 3 is back and in full swing, and the first auditions kick off this Sunday, the 25th of March in Port Elizabeth at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, and the gates will open at 8 a.m. sharp, so be there on time.
That's right, and all you have to do is to arrive at the venue and you register at the gate. If you've ever dreamed of being on TV, then this is your shot. Now, you can also visit presentersearchon3.com for all of the audition details and the list of venues for a city near you.
we should have swivel chairs off that. Like, and now we're back with the latest tech news. What do we have, Zoe?
Okay, well, we've reported quite a bit on, over the past few months on the development of a self-driving car. Now, usually the future looks very bright, but today's story unfortunately puts a damper on the industry. On Monday morning, during a test run in Arizona, USA, a self-driving car fatally crashed into a 49-year-old woman on a bicycle. Now, she was rushed to hospital after the incident, but passed away due to her injuries later in the day. The vehicle did have a safety driver on board in case of an emergency, but the driver was unable to respond at the moment of the malfunction and couldn't avoid the collision. All further tests have been put on hold by the company, and data from the vehicle's many cameras and sensors will be investigated to determine the cause of the crash. And this incident will no doubt have implications on the future of self-driving cars for sure.
Yeah, something like this might have just pushed it back another 10 years.
I'm like, why didn't they test this, on an airfield or an open space or
perhaps they've done
a
that.
racetrack?
It just could be a malfunction that was, unavoidable, and it's just so sad that somebody lost their life, and so condolences to the family.
Yeah.
The next tech story, though, might just blow your mind into 1,000 little smithereens. That's because tech company IBM has unveiled the world's tiniest computer, and it's smaller than, check this out, a gram of coarse salt.
What?
An entire computer. Kicking off their 2018 Think conference, the company showed off the computer that is it's 1 by 1 millimeter in size, and they reckon this computer has the same processing power as a desktop computer did in the 90s. And the picture you're about to see right now, that you see right there, is about 64 of these motherboards all put together, containing 2 of the mini computers, and IBM say that they'll be able to produce each of these computers for as little as 10 cents each.
I love that it comes with not
computing.
a big price tag.
Yes, the power of technology. Information is what's valuable these days. So some incredible news coming from the world of technology. Share the stories that have captured your imagination this morning with us on our social media platforms, and use hashtag Expresso Show.
The sand and water resistant Galaxy S8. Made for summer.
Now imagine all the fun we could have if all of this technology we were talking about earlier were available to everyone across the world. Then we could all become gamers.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? We could all become little Gareth Woods running around with our little Nintendos, in case, you're wondering what I'm talking about. Right now, he's got one of the latest games to show us.
Right, we are back with Gareth Woods, our gaming expert, right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, after he had a brilliant trip to Germany. And yesterday we heard about the brand new Nintendo Switch Labo, and it is absolutely impressive, Gareth. I think you whet our appetites, a lot of gaming appetites out there, exactly. So we spoke about the fact that, what it is, that it's these essential toys that you build via cardboard box, and it's absolutely amazing. But what else is it? What does it do besides, the box?
Yeah. So obviously, what they prescribe for you to play and the different games, that's all great, and it's super fun, and you will have hours and hours of entertainment just doing that.
Like we saw you do.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing, though, that was exciting for me was the fact that, once that's all done, they kind of show you the garage, which is really all the tech that's available, but kind of do your own thing. So I recorded some clips what they would let me show you guys. But for example, we used the piano then. It's got obviously it's using infrared to track where the keys are being moved. You can then put a piece of paper in there, and it tracks the picture that you put in there, and that can be used then to create a fish for your fishing game. So we did that there, cut this weird little shape, put him on there.
Whoa, hang on, via the piano?
Yeah, using the piano, because it's got this infrared camera that's busy tracking all the motion you put in there. So if you put in a kind of cardboard cutout in there, it analyzes, cool, that's the shape of your fish, then puts in the game. Afterwards, you're decorating it, so you're pressing the buttons, and you added some stars and made some massive googly eyes on him, and then in the game he goes. So then when I'm playing the fishing game, there's my fish. Name it whatever I want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's that sort of stuff. We used the RC car totally in the dark.
Yeah.
So because it's got an infrared camera, I'm using the camera there to steer the thing. So there's all these obstacles where they hit a little Super Mario figurine in there, and there we are in the dark, night vision mode, literal zero light, but you can see using the infrared camera, moving it around. So it's using all the different tech in different ways. And then the one part that they didn't let me record, but it's very, very exciting, was that there's all the kind of tech that they're using in the games is available for people to tweak and do their own thing. So there's logic gates. So you can sit there going, all the different pieces of tech or stimulation, whatever, you can have inputs and then outputs. So say, for example, I want the Labo, I want the controller to vibrate, to maybe like shake a little character, whatever, make him move, like my RC car. I can have, for example, the input being a light source or motion from the other controller could make this controller move. So I can set up my little logic gate, and then all of a sudden I shine a torch on the infrared camera. It goes, yes, we've got the signal that we need, and the result is make my little RC car vibrate. So you can make the RC car be light-powered, for example. So instead of you pressing a button, you shine a light at the little controller and it will vibrate because that's what you've set up. So you can do literally anything you want.
Look, man, but this now really moves away from your gaming. We spoke about it. But what is the application of this? I mean, it almost feels like now we're moving into educational stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a lot of ways it can be used as an educational toy. But what I'm super excited for, I want to get this in the hands of like the design and Ndlovu guys or like some engineering students and go, cool, like create something. Yeah, I don't know if you remember those like breakfast machines that were super famous of like the pin rolls down and hits the dominoes and then cooks the breakfast. And then I want to see you guys doing that. I mean, literally what they showed us in maybe a 5-minute demonstration. I mean, the one they had was like a ping pong machine, for example, where like you have the controllers attached to 2 plastic or cardboard pedals. But then what you do is you have the Nintendo screen light up like this ball kind of animates. And so, for example, the ball moves and it sits there, it stays until I turn the controller, and that's the input it needs to make the ball move back. So you're making a very rudimentary ping pong game, and that the guys set up in like maybe 2-3 minutes. And so I can't even imagine what guys are going to be able to do once they get their hands on this sort of stuff.
Exactly. I mean, can you imagine what it would mean for guys can really sit and use their imaginations and how they can do this?
100%.
Who's this for, man? Because you spoke about guys with design and Ndlovu. Is this for the average guy like you and me?
So that's what I love about it, is that, first of all, the great fun of building the stuff. So I built the RC car, maybe takes you like 10-15 minutes, but then like the real monstrosities like the piano and the robot suit, that's like 2-3 hours of fun. And you can do that yourself or with your kids. I mean, a lot of the guys who were at the event were like YouTubers that have sort of like kids channels.
Okay.
So there's like the dad with his kid or like the mom with their kids, whatever, and they're building it, having a lot of fun, decorating it, doing their thing. But then afterwards, like there's the game. So you're playing the piano, you're playing the fishing game, whatever, you're doing what's almost prescribed of you. But then afterwards, in terms of like the limitless hours you can do with it, that's where I think that I'm going to have the most fun with it, is the design your own contraptions. And you got to know that the internet's just going to be full of, once guys post ideas, go, hey, you want to build your own, you know,
exactly.
RC car powered by your piano, then like someone's going to show you how to do it, and then you'll be able to design your own. It's just going to be this almost like snowballing effect of people like sharing ideas.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of it. Just quickly before we wrap, when can we expect it in South Africa?
So it launches end of April. That's when it'll obviously be here. Hopefully we'll get our hands on some for you guys to test it live and be able to show everyone what it's all about.
I can't wait.
A month to go, I guess.
Gareth, I can tell how excited you are for this, man. You literally light up, man. I haven't seen you like this before. The new Nintendo Switch Labo, so if you've come across it, if you've heard about it, but no doubt we are going to be talking about it quite a lot going into the future.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Now, as we commemorate Human Rights Day, obviously remembering the Sharpeville massacre of 1960, it's also important to note that today, the 21st of March, also marks another very important awareness campaign. Today is World Down Syndrome Day, and the Ahmed Kathrada Clinic in Joburg is going to be hosting an event to raise awareness and I think also to stand in solidarity with families affected by it. And we're joined on the line by a nurse at the clinic, Yvonne Matlangu. Yvonne, a very good morning.
Good morning to you, to your listeners.
So great to connect with you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. First off, can you tell us a bit more about World Down Syndrome Day as an awareness campaign and the significance of it?
Okay, it was declared by the USAID that 21st of March would be a national or international Down Syndrome Day. And Ahmed Kathrada is a growing brand and a growing hospital. Felt it was appropriate to observe the day as well.
So you're obviously going to be hosting a very special event to observe the day, and this is for the first time out, so all the best of luck with that. Can you tell us a bit more about what you're going to be doing today? Who's going to be in attendance? Who's welcome?
Okay. We're hosting from the hospital's training center. We have moms, they're coming through with their little ones. Most of them are not delivered here, but we're more like treating moms from communities and moms from our own community as well.
Sure.
So moms will be coming through with their babies, and daddies, I hope. And in the midst, we'll have a geneticist from National Health Services to come and just talk about genes and how it happens that we have Down syndrome. Amongst those, we have an audio and a speech therapist. We have a physiotherapist and a occupational therapist. That is important for the little ones between the ages of 0 and 5 to stimulate them appropriately so they can find themselves sitting in communities as they grow to kindergarten.
I absolutely love that. And I'm going to reiterate, fathers, you join your mothers out there as well. It's going to be a beautiful day, and I know there is a huge amount of love within your clinic, but I think within the community that connects through Down syndrome. What is your message to the public on this day?
We all need to be cognizant of the presence or the babies that we have that have Down syndrome. And it's also important to realize that they can grow up into normal communities if they are stimulated properly. So I would encourage early stimulation for Down syndrome babies between 0 and 5, and then look at the learning institutions where we can try and fit them in as well, because they grow up to be normal people.
Thank you so much, not just for doing this today, but for what you do every day in this area. All the best of luck today. And I think anyone who would like to have more information and to be inspired on how you can stimulate your child if they do have Down syndrome, especially at that critical age between 0 and 5 years old, so they can enter into society, make sure you get down to the Ahmed Kathrada Clinic in Joburg today.
Exactly. Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, JP Sebastian is back in studio, and this time we're talking about some film gossip news.
Ooh,
He's going to keep us on the pulse.
And we're also going to run you through the biggest party in Cape Town. That is just, it was just the other day, last weekend. In fact, we're talking Carnival vibes.
It was
yes,
so much fun.
indeed.
Yes.
But this weekend, very, very big one, and we are so excited.
This Sunday, the 25th of March, of course, it is Presenter Search on 3, the very first auditions happening in Port Elizabeth. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Look, it's going to be amazing. And we know that the queues are long, you know what, so have patience. But McCafe is the headline sponsor, so they're going to be there serving some fresh coffee as well and some delicious McCafe treats just to make the day memorable.
That's right. Doors open at 8 o'clock, close at 5. You can go there, register at the gate, and then, of course, wow the judges. Bring your friends, bring your family, because you're vying for a spot on either Expresso, Afternoon Express, or Top Billing.
Absolutely. More information available on the website presentersearchon3.com.
Come on.
Good morning, welcome back to the show. In case you don't know it yet, this weekend you need to mark your calendars because it's a biggie. Presenter Search on 3 is back and in full swing, and the first auditions kick off this Sunday, the 25th of March in Port Elizabeth at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, and the gates will open at 8 a.m. sharp. Now, all you have to do is arrive at the venue, register at the gate, and if you've ever dreamed of being on TV, then this is your shot. You can also visit presentersearchon3.com for all of the audition details and a list of venues for a city near you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. But for right now, JP Sebastian is here to fill us in on the latest movie news and some really interesting stuff emanating from the Oscars, which year on year, I think for the past 5 years, have really become a platform of social change and commentary.
Movements, obviously, we got, Time's Up, Me Too, and whatnot.
Here we go.
And as one of the figureheads in that, Frances McDormand, who won the Oscar this year for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yes,
At the end of her speech, she said 2 words that made all of us rush to Google, and we were like, oh, what does this mean? She shouted, inclusion rider. This is the thing that she felt would change a lot of the circumstance in concerns with the representation of women, the representation of people of color, etc., etc. And so what's great news is that big figures like Michael B. Jordan, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Brie Larson have all committed to including an inclusion rider in their contract. What that means is it's a clause that stipulates I'll only act in your movie if you have fair representation of all demographics in front of camera. Women get equal talking time. People of color get equal talking time and representation, and also behind cameras, so technical crew and stuff like that as well. And a lot of actors, I think, just sort of forgot that they have this option. It's like, oh, goodness, seriously? So major stars like this, people who are like big tickets, these are billboards to movies. If you have Matt Damon in it, the movie sells.
Yeah,
so they have the power to sort of bring this along. It's not going to change the game entirely, but it's a good step in the right direction.
It's a massive change in the thinking behind a lot lot of people's
minds. I feel like you've got
great
agency to be part of the change.
Absolutely. What other news do you have for us, sir?
Everyone's
Shia LaBeouf.
Favorite weirdo. Shame, man. Like, I have a weird soft spot for Shia LaBeouf. He's like, after Transformers and all these, he's actually like a childhood actor originally, like, I think all that pressure maybe got to his head and whatnot. And, so he's doing a lot of smaller movies, and the next movie that he's doing is a movie about Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, Shia LaBeouf is doing a movie about Shia LaBeouf?
Finally, after that 20-movie history of his, he's... I just
wanted to Lord, who can forget this?
Show you some classic footage of him, just warning you, just do it. So he's acting as his dad in the Shia LaBeouf movie. Lucas Hedges is playing Shia LaBeouf. This is so confusing to say. Lucas Hedges is from Manchester by the Sea. He was most recently in Lady Bird. So these are big actors and whatnot. But shame, the dude, like, I was reading a bit of his upbringing. His dad, they have a good enough relationship now, but he was abusive. He was a Vietnam vet. Just like sort of mentally abusive. Alcoholic and stuff like that. So maybe he's trying to explain some of his own unpacking that he's doing.
Perhaps, a learning for us. I'm still confused whether it's LaBeouf, LaBeouf.
It's a misspelling, actually, of beef in French.
Really?
So the O and the E are the wrong way around.
So it's Beuf.
You say it better than I could.
All right. Anyway, and then what other news do you have for us? I think
you're looking shifty.
I am because you said you're going to question me. I don't know what to do.
Cat is so competitive. Chill, man. You're among friends. So, what do you think is wrong in the new Avengers Infinity War poster?
What is wrong in this poster?
What is missing?
What is missing? Wait, hold on.
Your cameraman is chanting. So you need
I need a closer look.
You need the eyes of a hawk, I'd say, to
eyes
spot
of the hawk. What is it? Brave Star? Brave Star? No, you said the eyes of the hawk. You misled me.
Speed of a puma. Brave Star. I'm glad I got a fan. I'm in the presence of greatness here. But no, Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner's character is not on the poster. Poor dude. His name's not even on there. He is one of the original Avengers. Sure, Ant-Man's not on there as well, but who cares? So fans have been does the dude die? Have we just not been told? Is
there a reason why Marvel Studios didn't include him there?
So they've obviously been a bit tight-lipped. They say he does have a part to play, but their theory is now that he's going to turn into this sort of alternate character that he has in the comics called Ronin. So he's this weird go-between guy. He's never actually seriously taken aside. But I'm over-blabbing. I just wonder, our director, if you can cue up some examples that the fans have been making to try and make amends for this injustice.
Yes, go, do it.
So there you go.
Where am I?
Hugging it out with Ant-Man, and this is gorgeous. I love how badly done this is.
Right there, just boom, boom, boom.
And where do you think it is? He was there all along.
Oh, there he is. Okay. He's the hair that everyone is standing on.
Seriously, where would the Avengers be without that booth?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the
That is it, my friend.
27th of April.
The 27th of April is when you can get totally psyched about that. I don't usually go wild about these superhero movies, but the way they bring all these people together in Captain America Civil War...
Just be honest, it's because we all want to be from Wakanda. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. Always bring us the latest news. JP Sebastian on the mark.
Thanks, Gab.
Thank you, gents. Very, very entertaining indeed. But right now, if you're looking for the biggest party in the mother city, you'll find it here every single year in March. Of course, I'm talking about the Cape Town Carnival that recently wrapped up and is fast becoming one of the biggest events on the Cape Town calendar. And this year, they went all out celebrating the phenomenal beauty of the mother city with regards to its nature and culture.
Take 2 kilometers of the fan walk in Cape Town. Add over 2,000 performers plus spectacular floats, sprinkle in some music, invite tens of thousands of spectators, and you've got the Cape Town Carnival.
It's so good, it's so exciting, it's so rewarding to be reaching this stage where for the first time everything is in full colour, it's in full blast, all the floats are assembled together for the first time, all the performers. There's no dress rehearsal for Carnival, so even for the crew, this is the first time we get to see the whole thing. This year's theme, Mother City, Mother Nature, speaks to what do we want the Mother City to be like? What do we want that to mean? And of course, acknowledging the crazy water crisis that Cape Town is facing, people are more conscious than ever that we're not independent from nature. The Carnival also always likes to communicate we're not independent from each other either. We're related, we're family. One of my favourite floats that will be going down the parade route this evening is the Nest. It's just gorgeous, it's amazing, giant blades of grass. And Mother Nature herself will be gracing the parade with the seed of life in her hands and the city on her crown, and she's beautiful as well.
It's really, really lit. Everyone is like happy, the vibe is great, and the floats are really amazing.
I think it's a good theme to choose. I think it just reminds us to be mindful about nature and to be aware of our consumption. Well, event organisers have put a lot of effort into making the resources available to get fresh water. There's bins everywhere. It's clean. It's great.
The carnival comprises of both a parade and a family party, and every year the event creates a family-friendly environment where people can celebrate life.
It's a people's carnival, so it's about participation. We work with several communities. That's what builds the carnival and makes it what it is. And obviously funding is key in making the floats and the costumes. But participation's our big thing. So in 2010, we had about 17,000 people in Long Street, and last year we had about 45,000 people on the fan walk. So people are getting used to it being an annual event, and they're coming down to join in the festivities. We create over 1,000 jobs a year in float building and costume making and event logistics. Those are part-time jobs, and they're for part of the year, but we have a festive workshop in Maitland.
The essence of the carnival, and something that is really dear to the heart of everyone involved, is that it brings people together. And that's the ultimate vision of the Cape Town Carnival, that we all come together, that we see each other, that we appreciate each other and celebrate each other.
With its elements of fantasy, social consciousness and supporting local talent, this carnival is a party that unites, excites and delights. And we can't wait to see the joy it'll bring next year. Well, cracking the industry of your dreams can sometimes be seen as insurmountable, but persistence and hard work can pay off. Now, this is what two young South African women, Ndlovu and Storm Solomons, recently experienced when they were handpicked by Film Africa Worldwide for a 7-week internship with Kudos Productions on the set of the 3rd season of Humans in London. And they're joining us on Expresso this morning to share some of the invaluable lessons that they learned. Ladies, so good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Can we just say hashtag the future is female?
Yes.
Boom.
Hashtag the future is female.
I love it, I love it, I love it. So now I'm going to start off with you. What was it like, just contextualize for us, to be involved in such an incredible opportunity, international productions? I mean, you worked on season 3 of Outlander, Troy, Fall of the City in South Africa, and then, of course, selected for this 7-week internship.
It's quite a good position to be in.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel incredibly lucky.
Wow.
And it's a good exposure for anyone who is like me, who aspires to be a filmmaker, and as a young woman who wants to be heard and wants to write, produce, and direct, and to be seen or to be exposed on an international scale, to get to liaise with international clients like that is pretty exciting.
It's amazing. I just get goosebumps thinking about it and talking about it. Storm, what was one of the highlights that stood out for you in this entire experience?
I think just getting an overall or an in-depth look at like the entire process from inception to post-production. Being able to see the director's relationship with the DOP, his relationship with his editors and his crew members. Also getting an in-depth look at the development of conception, like of ideas and how an idea is like birthed and blossomed into an actual story.
Yeah. So now how are you hoping that the skills that you've learnt in this process is going to help you not only in your own personal development, but in terms of the industry as well?
Having come from a servicing background where in Cape Town especially, we do a lot of servicing work to international clients, I have the aspirations, like I said, to be a writer, director, and having had the experience to explore my creative side, I do want to facilitate and I do want to create stories for people like me and for people to look up to me to also feel like they will be allowed to do that. And having gotten that experience where I was encouraged to think, I was encouraged to write, I was encouraged to explore other mediums that I had not in a while, I think, tapped into, it's pretty exciting. And I'm looking forward to basically using any skill that I have to get to where I need to be.
I love that. I love that. Like we said in the beginning, this is one of the toughest industries to crack, and even more so for women. The balance, there's no balance when it comes to women in the industry. And I love these internships because it gives you not only the skills that you so rightly deserve to have, but it gives you an opportunity to have a foot in the door. And we need more women that are in the industry. But what is the next step for the both of you? Storm?
Well, right now I think having had that chance to be more creative because we're so in the service industry, to be able to use your mind and create your own stuff. I think mostly the biggest thing we want to do now is create more local content, to create our own stories and to work on our own creative writing.
I'm available, I'm just saying.
Pretty much the exact same thing, just to create, and more than anything, I think, is to inspire. I've been so incredibly inspired for the last 3 months, which hasn't happened in a while. So I have a lot of ideas in my head that I want to get out there, and I want people to hear them, and I want people to also be motivated to do the same thing.
Come on, come on. So if you're sitting at home and, of course, you are inspired by these two young women, they've just given us a really great lesson. Never give up. Keep pursuing those dreams. We're incredibly excited to see the future work of these dynamic young women because #the future is female.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. When we get back, we'll go behind the scenes of a theatre production called Freedom.
Then Manny Walters is back to crush it again ahead of the Cape Town International Jazz Festival. So you want to stay tuned for that. And I think you want to stay connected to the show. Why? Because we are giving you some tips, some hints, and of course all the info you need to know about Presenter Search on 3.
That's right. And these auditions really it's an open door invitation for you to come in. It's a great way to get into the industry. And if you look at all of the past 10 presenter, if you look at the Presenter Search history, people making the top 10, how well they've done in the industry. It really is an open door.
Case in point. So don't forget to get down there, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium this Sunday. Get there early because they're going to be thousands. We'll see you after the break.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Very good morning. Welcome back to the show. Happy Human Rights Day, South Africa. I hope you're commemorating this day and remembering why it certainly is. And of course, our wonderful Zola Nene is doing the same. I mean, you're looking very proudly South African. I'm proud of you. Listen, you look like you're right and ready to be in front of camera. And in fact, if you think that you are as well, you need to make your way to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth on the 25th of March for the Presenter Search auditions. And the gates open at 8 a.m. Get there, register, give us your best audition. And who knows, you could be the next TV star on SABC3. Just like Zoe made it happen. Hey?
That's right.
Exactly. But right now it's time for us to reflect on some international entertainment news. I know that you've got spicy mouth from Kosi. So, at them, Zola. At them.
Okay. So, guys, with only 2 months to go until the royal wedding or the wedding of the century, the wedding to end all weddings. We're talking about that of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The couple can check one thing off their wedding planning list. Do you know what that is?
What is it? I'm
going to tell you. The wedding cake. Because that's very important.
It is an important part.
Come on, guys. Now, Kensington Palace issued an official statement saying the couple have chosen Klepertak from London's Violet Bakery to create their wedding cake, which will be, Zola, I want to hear from you if this is going to work, lemon elderflower flavoured, covered in buttercream and decorated with fresh flowers. I thought everything on the cake has to be edible. Maybe
the flowers are edible.
Do you want to eat, like,
maybe they'll be sugar flowers. You don't know. Maybe they'll be
lemon
sugar
and
flowers.
what on earth is elder butter? Is it
elder
like
flower?
Elderflower.
It's also it's a floral flavour, so I can understand how they're putting it all together. Flowers on the outside, flowers on the inside in terms of flavour. Yeah. I think that's really pretty. That's very British.
Exactly.
Elderflower is a very British flavour.
Elder butter is what you've kept in your fridge for way too long. Elder butter. Okay.
That's not a thing.
We don't want to do
that.
Right? It's a thing in your kitchen. Anyways, the California-born pastry chef seemed an unlikely choice, but Meghan had previously interviewed Claire on her blog, The Tig, and clearly she made an impression. So it's good to know that at least one thing has been sorted. Now, that's the sweet taste of success when it comes to Claire. Well done.
What pressure, hey? Making the cake for the future princess.
Imagine that's a flop, right? I mean, what happened to good old just carrot cake, chocolate cake, vanilla sponge cake, caramel.
This is a royal wedding. You don't just caramel.
And then you didn't check people's allergies, and then they're allergic to elderflowers.
They must know their own allergies and not eat the cake then.
Do you know what I mean?
They must know their own allergies.
Eat the cake. Very quickly before we end off, Selena Gomez has clapped back at body shamers, and I'm so happy that she did this because she posted a picture of herself in a bikini, and people actually went at her talking about her curvier physique. I'm sorry.
She's gorgeous.
Curvier physique, and of course the scars that she's obtained from her surgery that she had for her kidney transplant. She went out after them and said, the beauty myth, an obsession with physical perfection that traps modern women. She went on to say, I choose to take care of myself because I want to. And of course, we know she's been through a very difficult time. So the fact that people would actually, behind the veils of social media, make fun of such an incredible woman, those people should be ashamed of themselves, and Instagram should actually block them and fire them, and they should never be allowed to comment.
I say kudos for clapping back. Clap back at those haters.
We're over the haters. Stop hating. Come on.
Haters.
Get us some elderflower and buttercream. We want that in our lives.
I'm just here for moral support.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, team. Now, South Africa is renowned for turning to arts and culture as a way of analysing and processing the social and cultural struggles facing our nation. And for young people, the protests and dialogues that erupted as part of the hashtag Feast Must Fall shed light on a host of issues, and they're being tackled through music and dance in a significant stage production.
The State Theatre is bursting with youthful energy in a new production called Freedom the Musical. Written and directed by Aubrey Sakabi, the production tackles the burning issues and hardships around the Fees Must Fall movement.
But Aubrey, Fees Must Fall was a very pivotal movement in South Africa, and it's still a huge talking point amongst South Africans. What can people expect from the production Freedom?
People can expect an examination into violence, is a look at the chaos that was happening around that time, because against the background of Feast Must Fall, we look at the story of Pindile, who is not only fighting for the rights of the students, but she's also fighting for her own freedom. Freedom is such an important story to tell because it's a reflection on us. It reflects on the rhythm and the mood of our times, the struggles of students, the struggles that they encounter, and all those things are being explored in the production.
Now, you are no stranger to producing award-winning productions. I mean, your theatre piece, Marikana, won a number of awards. Would you say that you want Freedom to follow in the same footsteps?
Look, when we're doing Freedom, like each time you do a new piece of work, you really want it to be good. You want to satisfy the audiences. And I think we're doing Freedom with one intention, to send the message across. It's really energetic, it's powerful, it's gritty, and the youngsters are just amazing. Well, we hope for the best. We want it to be recognized, but at the moment, we're more focused on really creating a good piece of theatre.
The story is told through the experiences of characters named Pindile and Bonafide, who have struggles as activists and as young people.
I love that Pindile is strong. Throughout her journey in the story, in the play, she still comes back to that same place of strength. I really enjoy embodying that power as a woman.
I am playing Bonafide, the lead character. He's a 23-year-old student activist, and he's also very close with Pindile. I'm also the musical director and composer of the music. I've been working on it for roughly like 2 years now. It's been a tough journey, but we're there now.
The groundbreaking musical features a 13-piece band and a cast of 47 performers, including rapper Chad Dunn.
So Chad, a lot of us know you from the music scene. I mean, you're a very popular Motswako rapper. Yeah. But how does it feel like being part of a theatre production, trying your hand out at acting?
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's a first-time experience for me. So I have to push the boundaries and push myself to be better, you know. And obviously, it's just something new and refreshing. So I'm enjoying it.
How does it feel like being part of the storytelling of such an iconic movement?
Being a part of this project is amazing. It is powerful. It's powerful to be in that space. It's a challenge and it's pressure because you have to be truthful in the portrayal. It has to be real so that the message gets out there.
And why would you say people should come and watch the production Freedom?
People should absolutely come and watch Freedom because not only is it exciting, but it will be insightful. People will understand what happened. And also not just the issue of fees must fall. We are portraying so many other issues that the students faced in their personal lives. So people are going to learn a lot from this.
If you don't come and watch this production, you'll be missing a mirror of our society. You'll be missing some of the things that we don't really talk about in public, but they are happening. So it is really an important piece of work, but it is exciting, it's energetic, and it's got a lot of talent. And music is amazing, dance is amazing, performers are just amazing. I think that it will be a good night out when you come and see Freedom.
Freedom the Musical is at the State Theatre in Pretoria until the 1st of April and offers a unique journey through issues that affect the lives of all South Africans.
So exciting. Well, something else that's exciting is the fact that one of our the country's biggest fashion weeks is on the horizon. It's time to spread some very stylish love, and Expresso is going to do just that by giving fans an opportunity to attend AFI Cape Town Fashion Week, which kicks off this Friday, and of course give you the chance to preview some of the most in-demand designers on the continent. Now, there'll also be huge celebrity sightings, all the latest catwalk trends, and a whole host of exciting moments that will leave winners wanting more. Now, all you have to do to enter is to head to our Expresso Show Facebook page and answer the following question. Who is your ultimate fashion or style icon and why? And of course, your feel-good breakfast show wants you feeling extra good this morning. So we're going to give away we're going to make not one winner, but 2 winners. So head to our Facebook page right now and get in on those fashion feels. The competition ends on Thursday at 2 p.m. and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
Thank you, Leanne, on your Wednesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show's Human Rights Day public holiday. Hope you are able to kind of still chill out in bed and take things nice and easy, but I hope you do that because you need rest. For those of you who's going to be attending the Presenter Search on 3 auditions, starting off in Port Elizabeth this weekend at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. It's going to be amazing, dude. We know that breaking into the industry as a presenter is very, very difficult, and this is like the ultimate foot in the door.
If nothing else, it gives you a bit of an experience in that zone, which will give you the confidence to go out there and make it on your own, which you've got to do. But 25th is when you've got to get down to the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Get there early. We saw last year with the last search, Thousands of people are going to rock up, so make sure that you've got your audition down now. Practice in bed right now, wherever you are.
Make sure you prepare.
Presenter Search on 3 is back and is brought to you by Mac Cafe.
Do you have what it takes to shine night and day and in all the moments in between?
Can you dazzle with a winning smile, turn on the charm and take our breath away?
Are you ready to be South Africa's next television and social media superstar?
Well, this is your chance to become the face of SABC3 and take your place in the spotlight as the newest presenter of Top Billing, Afternoon Express or the Expresso Morning Show.
Clover Productions presents this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to claim your fame and build your brand and a career filled with unlimited opportunities.
Auditions are taking place in Port Elizabeth on the 25th of March, Cape Town on the 7th and 8th of April,
Durban on the 14th and 15th of April, and Johannesburg on the 20th, 21st and 22nd of April.
Visit the Presenter Search on 3 website, Facebook or Twitter for more details.
With Presenter Search on 3 and Mac Cafe, the stage will be yours.
That's where you is the hustling. I face some problems with my soul. It's that thing you know. When you're all done with survival and the rain it falls too late, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you're all done with survival and the pain it ain't so fake, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, when you're all done with survival and the rain it falls too late, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back on this Human Rights Day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hoping you are having a super chilled day and contemplating your future success and stardom in Presenter Search. It's kicking off, of course, this weekend, 25th of March, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Get there and get there early, but it's happening Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg. Everybody gets an opportunity, and what an opportunity.
Absolutely, man. We've seen some greats coming out of the Presenter Search on 3. Simba Mere, sadly no longer with us. Half man, half amazing. He was brilliant. Jonathan Boynton Lee. Of the last season, we had Jade Hubner, Zoe Brown, our very own Zoe Brown, and Danilo Acquisto as well. So this is really your chance to get a foot in the door and become that person that you always wanted to be and live out
someone
your
just
dream
fainted. Someone was like, oh my word, I can
the
become
excitement
famous.
is real. The excitement is real.
I love it, man. So make sure you get down and get down early. But right now, let's bring you up to speed with the latest news headlines.
In the national news this morning, the suspension of South African Revenue Service boss Tom Moyane is a measure aimed at restoring confidence in the running of state-owned entities. Now, this was one of the reasons President Cyril Ramaphosa mentioned when suspending Moyane after he had declined to voluntarily resign. Ramaphosa informed Moyane that his suspension was partly due to the way that he handled the matter of his deputy Jonas Makwakwa. Another issue was the management of VAT refunds, which Ramaphosa says has placed SARS in disrepute and seriously affected the morale amongst taxpayers. Despite being flooded by millions of immigrants fleeing persecution and economic meltdown in their countries, the South African government strives to provide a safe environment for them, while at the same time balancing the need to provide much-needed services and security to its 50 million plus citizens. This was stated by Home Affairs Minister Malusi Gigaba yesterday when briefing members of the diplomatic corps on the UN Global Compact on migration. He also said Pretoria provides services to millions of immigrants at a significant economic cost. Now moving further abroad, China's President Xi Jinping delivered a blistering nationalist speech yesterday, warning against any attempts to split China. The address capped an annual session of the National People's Congress that paved the way for him to rule for life as China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong pushed through his vision of guiding the country through a new era of unrivaled global military and economic supremacy. But Xi's speech was also a reminder that the Communist Party reigns over the country's affairs. He said history has already proven that only socialism can save China. And then finally, our last story this morning is a very sad one indeed. Animal lovers across the globe are mourning the death of Sudan, the world's last surviving male northern white rhino, who was 45 and lived at the Olpajetas Conservancy in Kenya. He had to be put to sleep after age-related complications had worsened significantly. His death leaves only two females, his daughter and his granddaughter, of this subspecies alive in the world. Hope for preserving the northern white rhino now lies in developing in vitro fertilization techniques. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport. Graham has the details.
First up, cricket news off the pitch. Proteas paceman Kagiso Rabada has been thankfully cleared to play in the remaining tests against Australia after his two-match ban was overturned. Following a review, Rabada was cleared of the ICC's Level 2 charge for an altercation with Steve Smith. Instead, the paceman picked up a demerit point and was fined 25% of his match fee. The Proteas and Australia resume their battle tomorrow with the third test in Cape Town. And on to rugby news, former Springbok coach Heineke Meyer has been appointed as the new sports director and head coach of Stade Francais. In his first job since coaching the Boks, Meyer will need to revive the French side's top 14 season after a run of poor form has left them with just one win in 7 matches. Stade Francais will be in top 14 action this weekend as they face Toulouse. Elsewhere, Montpellier, they'll be hosting Castres, while Lyon are up against Racing 92. Then on to athletics. South Africa's Ndlovu Manyonga has parted ways with his coach Neil Cornelius following a 3-year partnership. Now, under the guidance of Cornelius, the long jumper has won silver at the Rio Olympics, gold at last year's London World Champs, and was of course crowned champion of the 2017 Diamond League. Without Coach Cornelius in his corner, Manyonga's next big challenge will be the quest for gold at the Commonwealth Games, and that gets underway next month. Then finally back to the world's toughest mountain biking challenge. Manuel Fumecha and Henrique Avancini of Cannondale Factory Racing claimed their second successive win of the Cape Epic with victory in Stage 2 yesterday. The 106-kilometer route ended in a sprint, where Fumecha and Avancini finished 1.7 seconds ahead of Centurion Ford's Nicola Robach and Daniel Geismer. In the women's race, Annika Langvaart and Kate Courtney, they claimed their second stage win to hold on to that overall race lead. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Wednesday morning.
Thanks so much, Graham. That's right, it's just after 8 o'clock. Let's quickly take a last look at your weather and your temperatures for your Wednesday. And it looks like mild to warm temperatures forecast for this Human Rights Day, with some thunder showers in and around Gauteng extending to parts of KZN, and also a chance of rain in parts of the eastern and southern Cape coast. Your temperatures, Polokwane 18 minimum with a maximum 28 degrees, Mbombela 20, 32, Pretoria 16, 28, Johannesburg 15, 25, Mahikeng 16, 27, Klerksdorp 16.25, Kimberley 14.23, Bloemfontein 12 minimum with a mild maximum 24. Nice and hot one for Richards Bay, 21 minimum with a maximum 33. Pietermaritzburg 15.29, Durban 20.27, Mthatha 14.22, East London 16.23, Cradock starting off on 12 minimum, reaching a maximum of 25 degrees. Port Elizabeth 14.22, George 14.19, Sutherland 8 minimum with a maximum 22, Cape Town 15.22, Worcester 12.23, Springbok starting off on 13, reaching a maximum 27, and Uppington 15 and a maximum of 28. And always please remember to use water very sparingly, especially in Cape Town. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for this beautiful Wednesday morning.
And it continues right here in the studio where just ahead of his performance at the Cape Town International Jazz Festival, Manny Walters joins us to share his music with us. And here he is right now performing a song called My Own Fault.
on 3 is back and is brought to you by Mac Cafe.
Do you have what it takes to shine night and day and in all the moments in between?
Can you dazzle with a winning smile, turn on the charm, and take our breath away?
Are you ready to be South Africa's next television and social media superstar?
Well, this is your chance to become the face of SABC3 and take your place in the spotlight as the newest presenter of Top Billing, Afternoon Express, or the Expresso Morning Show.
Clover Productions presents this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to claim your fame and build your brand and a career filled with unlimited opportunities.
Auditions are taking place in Port Elizabeth on the 25th of March, Cape Town on the 7th and 8th of April,
Durban on the 14th and 15th of April, and Johannesburg on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of April.
Visit the Presenter Search on 3 website, Facebook, or Twitter for more details.
With Presenter Search on 3 and Mac Cafe, the stage will be yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso right here on SABC3. It's your Wednesday morning and gearing up for a very, very exciting weekend. Of course, we are talking Presenter Search on 3. We cannot wait to see some new talent emerging, Leanne.
You know what? We're opening up the industry, everybody. Now, this Sunday, the 25th of March, in Port Elizabeth, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and ending at 5, you have an opportunity to just rock up at the gates. Of course, you can register right at the gate, and then you have the opportunity to make your dreams come
Absolutely. This could be you. This could be you. Look how happy there is. There's fist bumps going around. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's queues. It's going to be amazing. But there's going to be McCafe, of course, the headline sponsor. Great coffee, great McCafe treats as well. That's up for grabs. They'll be circulating around as well, making sure that you live your best life and just be happy. So make sure you put your best foot forward, prepare your links, and go and wow the judges. It's amazing. So this weekend kicks off at Port Elizabeth at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing, yeah.
No ways. Okay, all right, in recovery mode right now. It's a Wednesday and you know what it means. It's time for the Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. And we're joined by, no doubt, one of our favorite foodies. Zola Nene is in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. And last week we were speaking and answering questions all related to red meat such as beef and lamb, and so many of our Facebook followers were like, but what about the chicken? What about the pork? So today Zola's here to answer all of those questions, and of course you're welcome to give us a call on 021-430-9881. I was going to ask how you're doing, but after saying Ngomfi,
you gave me the opportunity, I took it. Ngomfi?
It's good to have you back in the kitchen talking about arguably my favorite food in the world. So let's get straight into the questions, shall we? Facebook, first of all, had Miriam Bibi Ibrahim, who said, when meat and steaks are done rare, it's usually very delicious, whatever, not detrimental to your health, but why can't we eat chicken rare?
Well, the short answer is that there's bacteria that lives and penetrates chicken and pork that is detrimental to people, unlike meat, for example.
Yes.
So also the density of meat usually there's bacteria and stuff around the outside, which you cook when you have a rare piece of steak. So you pretty much kill all those enzymes and the bacteria, etc. And the density of meat doesn't make it easy for bacteria and parasites to actually penetrate to the core of it. So generally, the core is safe. So that's why you can eat it raw. Chicken and pork, very different. People are very afraid of salmonella, and rightly so, because that stuff will hurt you. Like, hurt you. And also pork as well. Also carries a lot of bacteria and enzymes. The one that people are usually very, very afraid of, or used to be more afraid of than they are now, was trichinosis, which used to live on the outside of pork.
Trichinosis?
Trichinosis.
Oh, sorry, trichinosis. Yeah. Okay.
Not trichinosis.
Okay, yes.
On the pork. But it does die at 58 degrees, so you're actually safe to eat it. And the internal temperature that pork should be is 75 degrees.
Yes.
So basically it is safe to eat. So that's why you're allowed nowadays to eat pink pork, because the temperatures are fine. Chicken, though, on the other hand, just think about a raw piece of chicken breast. Would you ever want to eat that? The texture. Just think about the texture. I think also thinking about the way that a meat eats is also very important, regardless of the bacteria and the enzymes.
Yes.
It's just not appetizing.
Yeah.
Whereas rare meat, the texture is delicious.
I, for one, hate dried chicken. I can't do dried chicken.
Correct.
It's got to have the right kind of moisture in it. And when we talk about baking chicken right now, we'll focus on that a little bit. But yeah, like you say, if it's not cooked well and on the inside, you still get that raw chicken smell. It's just not amazing.
Can I just give you a high five for that pomfrey that you did there? That was awesome. Yay!
All right, we'll come back with more of your questions, and of course, give us a call on 0214309881. We'll be back with the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting.
Day made. Well, it is a Wednesday, lest we forget. And we want you to make Wednesday your wash day. We know that summer is almost over, yes, but that doesn't mean that you have to avoid getting into your swimwear or protecting it for that matter. Making your swimsuit last all year round is all in the washing. Yes. And it's best to hand wash in cool water using MAC straight after use. And here is how to do it.
All right, so our very first tip is take care of your swimwear or your swimsuits. It can be a very expensive exercise. And of course, learning how to take care of them will keep them looking great all year round and save you something in the pocket. Now, did you know that chlorine in pools and perspiration and body oils react with the elasticity of the fibers, causing them to stretch? Wow. So make sure to rinse your swimwear after each time you wear it, whether it was for swimming or for sunbathing. You want to make sure that you rinse it in cool tap water, be water wise and catch the water in a tub. Allow it to soak for about 30 minutes and this will remove most of the salt, the sand, the body oil and other chemical prepping it for the wash as well.
Very, very interesting. Hand wash your swimwear then, and this is how you do it. The wash time, almost every swimsuit contains spandex or lycra, so again, prompt cleaning is very important. Get on it fast. We recommend hand washing because your swimwear using MAC hand washing powder is going to have that same strong cleaning effect, but it's going to protect those fibers. It's great both whites and colors as well. Water-wise, a tip when doing laundry is to match the water level to the size of the load so you don't waste. MAC has a very high active formula, so it's super strong and foamy, and the enzymes in MAC will help to remove any stains or residual chemicals in it. Swish around in the bucket for several minutes, rinse well and gently squeeze out. Don't wring it out and damage those fibers, and spread your swimwear flat to dry in a spot out of direct sunlight. UV rays from sun can both fade and break down the fibers in your suits.
Exactly. MAC makes your wash day a little easier, and we're making it easy for you to win a MAC hamper every week. So to stand a chance of winning, SMS the keyword MAC to 33728. SMSs are charged at R1.50. No free SMSs apply. I know this is not going to apply to those who go to Sandy Bay, but for everybody else, this is some great washing tips. The T's and C's can be found at expressoshow.com, and this week's giveaway ends at midnight tonight.
MAC washing powder works really hard on tough stains, so you don't have to. Making it easy for you to shine.
I'm now keeping a safe distance from Zola Nene, but we're back again in the kitchen for the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Sing, sing, sing! Wow, there was a very... Get, you know, 0214309881. We're talking about all things chicken and pork today in the kitchen. And earlier on, we were talking about why you can't eat pork or chicken rare. It's bad for you. The enzymes and the bacteria that live inside, not good for you. But how do you bake chicken properly without burning it? Because we want to cook it properly, but you still want it to be nice and moist and beautiful, and don't burn it.
Yes, as with most things that you put into the oven, you have to keep an eye on it, okay?
Yeah,
So don't just leave something and think it's going to take care of itself. Keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, chicken usually burns quickly in the oven when you cook it on grill setting. Remember, that's when the top element's on and it's really, really hot.
Okay.
And then it chars the top if you don't keep an eye on it.
Yes.
So set your oven to actual convection, okay?
Okay, so the heat goes all over the oven.
Absolutely. And then bake it until it's just cooked. So when you're cooking something like a breast, think about the fact that there's not much fat inside the breast to keep it moist and keep it juicy.
Yes.
So if you overcook it, it's not a pleasure to eat. So you've got to just make sure that you watch it.
Okay.
You watch it. And also opaque or raw chicken has a very different texture. It's very springy or
Yes.
it's not springy. It doesn't give so much. You touch it and it
stays.
Exactly.
It stays.
When chicken is cooked, it gives a little more. So it pushes back. So just, get used to the touch. But until you're used to that, maybe just peek in with a knife or a fork.
I know everyone is wondering at home about this wonderful recipe you brought in for us, but you said that the core temperature is very important, or the inside temperatures.
Yes.
If you don't have one of those fancy measuring forks, is there a way that you can
There is a
possibly...
way. So when you cut into the chicken or the pork and the juices run clear, so it sort of seeps juices because it should be juicy, and if you cremated it and it's got no liquid left in it, in which case you should just put it in the bin. But okay, so when you cut into, and if you're doing like a whole chicken, for example, cut into the joint, so the leg joint.
Yes.
Don't cut into like the flesh of the breast. Cut into the leg joint and sort of separate it. And if the juices there run clear, usually the juices will pull up in that leg joint.
Yes.
And if they're clear, you're safe to eat it.
You're good
so don't
to
look
go.
at the bone, because the bone might still be pink, but the juices are what it is.
All right, well, let's get into the seasoning of chicken and how you can do this. So what have you brought?
So this
hold on. We have a caller on the line. Michael, all the way from Mitchell's Plain. Good morning, Michael.
Hello, good morning.
So great to have you on the line.
I just want to ask Zola, what do you think is the best spice to use on the chicken to brine?
To brine. I love that question, Michael.
That is a very good question. And chicken is one of those meats that absorbs any flavor. So the options are endless. I love a bit of garam masala for a bit of a spicy note. The one trick is, though, when you're brining chicken, make sure you oil the chicken, then put the spices on so they stick. Otherwise, they tend to sort of fly off, and then you don't actually. What's wrong?
I knew I was doing something wrong. Like at home, we'd have these massive scotch oil, big, and then you throw the chicken in there spice, and then when you put it on the braai,
the spices at the bottom.
70% of the spices at the bottom.
Exactly. So you need it to stick to the chicken. Also, the oil helps it brown and become really crispy. Okay, so garam masala is great. Things like cumin and coriander as a combination, really great. Paprika, smoked paprika, wonderful. Herbs. I mean, like I said, chicken. The options are endless. Chicken will basically go with any flavoring that you give it.
I'm glad you say that, because right now we're going to be using Herb Mare Original, which is a beautiful seasoning sea salt that has been mixed with, infused with organic herbs that have been harvested and mixed into the process, I think some 8 hours just after they've been harvested, so they're 100% organic. So tell me how we use that in your marinade to make sure that the chicken does indeed absorb all of those flavors.
Yeah, so marinating is really important. What people do as well to make sure that the chicken stays juicy is to brine chicken. So whenever you add an acid like vinegar, it sort of tenderizes the meat as well and helps it sort of absorb any flavor.
It kind of relaxes a little bit, and then those sinews just...
Okay, so here we've got some buttermilk, or you could use some milk, so Clover full cream milk. And then we've got some spices that we added to it. You could add some of your herb mare to that just to flavor it. So flavor the chicken at every stage. That way you're sure that it's going to get deep into the chicken.
And you said a very good chef, seasons at every stage. So this would be the substitute for your salt, right? Instead of using conventional salt, use that because it has salt in it already.
Exactly, and I always like to put a little bit of hot sauce, so sriracha sauce, into my marinade or brine, just to give it that extra flavor. Then we can add the herb mare here.
Do you kind of go, when you season, do you go by hand and just
I do, because I sort of know... Yeah, I sort of know what it takes to season a certain size of meat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can do that, experience and such. But for you, I mean, something like this, maybe before you put the chicken in here, taste that brine or that marinade.
Okay.
And it should be highly seasoned. So it shouldn't be, just perfect. It should be extra seasoned, because remember, not all of it's going to penetrate into the chicken. Okay. And then at this stage too, you could add taste the crumbs if you wanted, but obviously that's not necessary. Then once this is sort of sat in its brine or in its marinade,
do you go overnight with that?
Overnight would be fantastic because then it goes deeper in. Because the marinade is wet, you don't have to oil the chicken anymore, right? Because this is going to stick now.
Okay.
So then you get the crumbage. You could use flour here, and a trick I love to do is take some of the, if I'm using flour, take some of the marinade, put some in here, and make big flakes so it makes it even more crispy.
Extra
Ooh,
crunchy,
yes.
and then you get
And can you see how it's stuck to that? And then you want to get it into the oil. The oil must not be too hot. It's got to sizzle, but not go crazy.
Yes.
Otherwise, your core temperature is not going to be right.
While you do a few more pieces, the good thing if you are going to be using herb amare as your substitute for salt is that it has no additives or preservatives or MSGK as well. So 100% natural and unrefined. You're getting the good stuff in there.
Yep.
This is why I do the Culinary Hotline for moments of sizzle like this. That too, Zola. Listen, give us a call, 021-430-9881. We'll be back again with Zola Nene and her fried chicken on the Culinary Hotline. Sing.
Well, we have some special visitors in studio today. We have Peppa and her little brother George from Peppa Pig. I feel like we need to give a little bit of a wiggle.
Get a wiggle on, yeah.
There we go. We're going to take a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, JP Sebastian in the house. We have to review some movies.
Absolutely. Zola Nene also still hanging out with us, not only for Culinary Hotline, but she's also going to be sharing her presenter tips. And that is, of course, ahead of the auditions kicking off for Presenter Search on 3 in Port Elizabeth at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium on the 25th. Auditions start at 8 o'clock. Get there, register, and make sure that you wow the judges.
Yes, and if you need more information, just head on over to the website. That's presentersearchon3.com for more info.
That's it. If all else fails, just wiggle.
Wiggle.
Just wiggle.
When the rain stops pouring down and the sky is grey, when the rain stops pouring down and the sky is grey, then the sun peeks through the clouds and it's time to play.
We put on our raincoats and we put on our boots. Then we go outside and this is what we do.
Muddy puddles, splish, splash, splish, splash. What a lovely sound. Muddy puddles, splish, splash, splish, splash. Puddles all around. Puddles all around.
We're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bing and a bong and a bing.
Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo.
Hooray! The sun is like...
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. We really hope that you're having a fantastic Human Rights Day and enjoying your Feel Good Breakfast Show at the same time. But you know what? Things are going down in Port Elizabeth this weekend on the 25th of March. It's a Sunday. Why? The very first presenter search on 3 auditions is taking place.
That's right, and it's all taking place at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, so make sure you get there. Doors open at 8 a.m. Registration takes place at the venue. You don't have to do that online, and you have to be 18 years or older. So make sure you bring your friends, bring your family, bring your support system, but get them to audition too, and we will see you there. But for more information, just head on over to the website. That's presentersearchon3.com.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline bling. That can only mean one thing.
Hey, yes, get in the kitchen with us. Zola Nene is here for the Culinary Hotline bling. Sing. We got a question from Ndlovu who asked us about cooking the perfect fried chicken.
Yes.
My grandmother used to get it right, and I still have never perfected fried chicken. What's the secret to making a perfectly fried chicken?
Okay, so the oil is very important. The oil temperature is very important to make sure that the chicken cooks all the way through and you get that crispy coating. Yeah. Don't overcrowd the oil, the pan.
Yes.
Otherwise, you boil the chicken and the coating comes off and it doesn't stick. So that's a very important tip. And then also, just to reiterate, brining or marinating the chicken before you actually cook it is very important. So you could use Clover full cream milk with spices and seasonings, etc. Then add your chicken to that and let it sit. You could also use buttermilk. You could also brine it in a sugar, salt, and water solution because that'll absorb into the flesh of the chicken and make it juicy. And then, once you've done that, keep it overnight, just so it penetrates even deeper. Coat the chicken, then the temperature of the chicken.
The kind of coat that you use, right?
Yes.
These are very fine
breadcrumbs. So these aren't my favorite. My favorite coating is flour, cake flour, that I flavor in the same way. So smoked paprika or regular paprika, sweet paprika. Dried oregano, you could use this herbamame, or you could use salt and pepper. And then I take some of the brine mixture or this buttermilk mixture, and I put a couple of tablespoons in here. So it creates these big flakes of flour. And that sticks to the chicken, and it increases the surface area for crispiness.
Okay, all right. Ooh. But the importance...
And then I'm thinking about it. Then that makes those big flakes, and then once it goes into the oven, into the oil, it all gets crispy all the way around, and it's just perfect.
Is there a more suitable oil to fry chicken in than another?
It has to be an oil with a high burning temperature. So you could fry in coconut oil. You could fry in canola oil, sunflower oil. Don't fry in olive oil because you want the temperature to be so high that it'll denature the oil and then the flavors will be a bit strange. But so just an oil that has a high burning temperature.
Fantastic stuff. Zola, thank you so much. We are so proud of you. We're going to be chatting to Zola just now about some presenter search on 3 tips for you. So make sure not to miss out on that. Always a pleasure.
Yay!
Zola, thank you. Yes, done.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
No, we totally did not just run all the way here just to make it on time for you. We absolutely did. Listen, it's very difficult for the Expresso family not to beam with pride when we speak about the name Zola Nene and the journey she's taken from being a kitchen cleaner. I'm joking. She used to be a food assistant on the show to becoming one of South Africa's most recognizable foodies. And today we get to sit down with her to see what we can learn from her, get some golden nuggets and some information, especially in light of Presenter Search on 3, the auditions that are starting this weekend in Port Elizabeth at 8 a.m. And Zola, I'm sure you can recognize that this is an exciting opportunity for youngsters out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually remember the year that Zoe was in.
Yeah.
And I was in one of the judging rooms, and she came in, she was wearing this baby blue, I'll never forget it, she was wearing this baby blue dress, because she walked in and she was a star. She was wearing this baby blue flowy A-line dress, and I was like, whoa, who is this girl? And she was very shy, and she was like, no, 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 no. And I was like, yes, Zoe, yes.
So you called it?
I called it.
You called it.
Called it.
Tell me, if you were to describe your journey from behind the scenes, so to speak, to in front of the camera.
Yes.
Give me a bit of a flow of that story.
So my journey in front of the camera started all the way back when I was a food assistant at Top Billing magazine.
Oh, wow.
So Amor was the editor at the time. And part of my studies, my culinary arts degree, because I specialize in food media, was a placement in the field that you were sort of specializing in. And that was sort of magazine and food styling, etc. So I worked there for about 6 months. then after the 6 months, I decided, actually, I'm going to move to Joburg because my boyfriend at the time, this is so embarrassing. My boyfriend at the time was actually, had a huge job in Joburg, so I was going to move because I was like, rah, boyfriend. And then I left top billing and I went to Joburg. And I was miserable in Joburg because I was very lonely. My friends were all here, my family was all here, and he was working all the time. So then I was like, actually, I'm going to come back. And I actually told Caitlin, here she is.
Over there we go.
And I was like, oh, friend, I think I'm going to move back to Cape Town. Joburg's not working out for me. And it was at that time that Expresso was conceptualized. And they called me and they were like, oh, we're doing this new show. It hasn't been done in the country before. We've got food on the show. Would you like to come and be... the food stylist on the show? And I was like, oh, how perfect, awesome, sign me up. So I came and with the intent of being behind the scenes, so doing what Nicole now, the food assistant, does. Arrange the chefs and write the recipes.
Still having to wake up at the crack of dawn every morning.
Exactly, and I was the only one in the food department back then. So I was happy doing the behind the scenes. I remember Lucian, the floor manager, actually, the first time he saw me, he was like, oh, the coffee station's dirty, because he thought I was like one of the cleaners. He's like, the coffee station's dirty. Could you sort that out? And I was like, hey, but who's this? anyway, so then I did that, and then for some reason, Patience came in the one day, and she was like, so I want you to do kids cooking. I want you to be in front of the camera. And I was like, oh no, not what I signed up for. I am behind the scenes. I do no. For about a month, I resisted. For a month, I was like, no, I'm not going to make a fool of myself. I'm not going to be on camera. Then eventually the producer at the time, Jemima, she says, she's like, okay, Zola, stop being stubborn. Just do it and prove everyone wrong. Okay, so then if you suck, then you suck and it's done. Then there's no ambiguity. So just do it. So I was like, fine, I'll do it just to prove everyone wrong because my attitude. And I did it the first time and I haven't stopped since.
Wow. And I'm sure it's blossomed into so many different opportunities that you are loving right now. You're living your dream.
Absolutely. The fact that Patience saw that in me and saw something in me that made her feel like I needed to, that was part of my talent. Where you found that picture?
We found it. We've been scouring. Listen, what advice do you have for the people going to the auditions on Presenter Search?
Just do your best. Just be you. I think that people connect with somebody if they're completely themselves. Yeah. Also, doing something like this, you can't actually fake who you are for very long because it becomes your everyday, it becomes your life. And people are drawn to the real, honest you. So don't try to imitate anyone. Don't try to be somebody else. Just go out there and be yourself, your authentic self, and that's what will give you the opportunities that you deserve.
I've just found my favorite picture of you.
Really?
Slay them! Yes, queen, yes. Listen, you heard it from Zola first here right on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. The opportunity for anyone who believes that they've got it to take that chance and shine and flourish. Now, for all of those of you in PE, don't forget the audition at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium this Sunday for your chance to be an SABC3 presenter. You could be the one.
Oh, Zola Nene!
All right, man, we're going to take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got lots more coming up, including how to make Falooda, man, in the kitchen. Falooda.
You might have noticed that we're not standing here alone.
Yeah.
Peppa Pig is in South Africa. She's brought little George brought his little dinosaur.
Hello, George.
And you are part of the family. They're going to be live here in our Feel Good Breakfast studio in just a moment.
Exactly, and like you've heard, Presenter Search on 3 auditions kick off this weekend in Port Elizabeth at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. And of course, if you want to get all those details as to where, how and what, presentersearchon3.com is where you can find all the details.
Yeah, get there early. Registration starts at 8 o'clock, but expect the queue to be there for a while. I wonder if Peppa Pig's going to give it a shot. The stage is yours.
If you want a taste of the smooth life and experience paradise for yourself, now is your chance with a very special travel offer. Enjoy a 7-night all-inclusive stay at a beach villa at the 4-star Adaran Select Hudran Fushi in the Maldives from just 23,730 Rand per person sharing, including return speedboat transfers and return flights from Johannesburg. To take advantage of this sizzling hot offer, book before 31 March 2018 and email sa@adaran.com.mv. Terms and conditions apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, welcome back to the show. It's a Wednesday morning. If you're looking at this big screen over here, very important details, especially if you're going to be in Port Elizabeth this coming weekend, the 25th of March, because Presenter Search on 3. The auditions start at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, and of course all the other venues are there too for you to keep note of.
That's right, and gates open at 8 a.m. and don't worry, our headline sponsor Mac Cafe, they will be serving delicious coffee and also some Mac Cafe treats for those standing in line. So make sure you bring your friends and your family and everyone audition.
Can I just say, I love that Ewan said, and you can be like this girl too.
You can be like that girl.
She's famous now too.
What does that mean?
You could be
She's
too.
excited.
Oh my word.
Oh, I love our team. We're funny, we're everything in the morning. Well, it seems everything is coming up roses for Thando Tebete. Hot on the heels of her glam engagement party, it seems like things are on the up and up. Thando announced yesterday that she'll be hosting the SAFTAs this weekend. Now, Thando hosted last year's ceremony and looked amazing in not one, not 2, but 5 different outfits. Hey, it wants to be done during the film and television industry's glitzy event. Now, we do know that Thando and Kat make a pretty formidable team, but this year they're going to be adding Fat Joe into the whole hosting mix as well for reasons unbeknownst to me.
It's amazing.
I just watched because of you last year.
No, it's amazing news. I think there'll be, Fat Joe is very, very experienced in the hosting department.
Absolutely.
He hosted the Metros with, is it Kanyimbao a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
and they were great. So I think
it's pretty nice to see him on the scene again. Really, really
so
cool.
So Thando and Fat Joe will be a great combination.
There we go. So don't miss the live broadcast on Saturday at 8 p.m. on SABC2. Not to be missed. It's going to be everything. Talking about everything, do you know Nico Panaggio and Christie's Love is Everything?
Yes, man.
12 years down the line, the two of them are celebrating their anniversary, and yesterday, Christy actually took to Instagram to share a photo from their wedding day, and she revealed everything that she loves about Nico, from being a talented artist to a respected and sometimes very silly dad. We know that about him. The couple met in drama school in 1998 and went on to star alongside each other in Sevendelaan. They then had 2 daughters and are a shining example for what a family that just lives the best adventurous life is all about and puts love and respect for each other on top of everything else. So we want to say a big happy anniversary, Nico and Christy. Cheers to many more together.
I also love that in her caption she said they've been tackling the world as a team for 18 years, but it's their 12th wedding anniversary. So 18 years, that's beautiful.
Guys, hey?
Yes, we're that old, they say. That old and that beautiful, just gorgeous looking people.
I just want 8 hours to begin with. Just 8 hours.
Just hold my hand. I'm just here for
8
moral
seconds.
support. I'm here for moral support.
8
Whatever
seconds.
you need, it's okay. All right. Okay.
Very special, guys. Thank you very much. Right now, though, let's get into the kitchen. Let's get cooking. We hang out with the Mother City's cooking heroine and also the author of The Journey of Cape Malay Cooking, Fatima Sydow. And she's here. She's lovely and she's excited because it's all about Falooda that we're making from scratch using fresh Clover from full cream milk. Fatima, thank you very much for joining us. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
So, Falooda, quickly, what is it?
Well, it's an Indian dessert. And you can see it's very summery. You've got your ice cream, your milk. It brings a little sweetness in it.
Yep.
Absolutely delicious. Everyone loves it. Kids, the older people, us. And I'm going to now show you how I'm going to make it.
I can't wait to see this. Let's kick off. What do we do first?
I'm first going to heat up some milk.
Right.
Look, when you do this, you can do this way in advance. It's just milk with a little sugar, and you heat it up.
Right.
And you add a little sugar. Here it is.
A little bit sugar for the sweetness.
Yeah, and then a little stir. And this is going to cook just for a few minutes till the sugar dissolves. And what's important is that it cools off.
All right. So
then you refrigerate it.
So the milk and sugar, then you refrigerate.
Yes, and then what you have is this.
Right.
This is already cooled. And what we have here is your ice cream. This is the Falooda seeds, which is the seeds of a native sweet basil plant from India. This is an Indian dish.
Yes.
This one, my pa's kant, Indian.
But it's also a gem in terms of Indian cuisine. Yeah.
Look, we in the Cape Malay, we do the booba, which is a hot. You can have it cold, and you'll see we have vermicelli, the rose water, and pistachio. We're going to jazz it up a bit. And now it's all about assembling.
So
it's
please.
as easy as pie.
How do
You're
we
going to
do
do
that?
one, I'm going to do one.
As easy as pie or as easy as Falooda?
Falooda. I'm going to do this alone.
Am I going to do one?
Of course, you want to.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So now it's just assembling.
Right.
Okay, you take that spoon.
Thank you.
I'm going to do first and you follow me.
Right.
I'm going to just put like, let me see. Yeah, that's all right.
Is that it? Okay,
Yeah.
you can have back your spoon now.
Okay, use that one. Oh, you like it a lot. It's very healthy, eh?
Good. It's
It's got health benefits.
100%.
And then, for those who like vermicelli, you can add a little. This has been soaked.
So you
also.
just soak them in
Yes.
cold water or
Yeah.
hot water or?
Just cold water for a bit.
All right.
You can do hot water if you want to speed up the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put in a lot for my
Right.
own personal taste because it can't be eat later. We'll leave that one out to give a variety. For some people, I know a friend, Malika, her children likes to put in the mini marshmallows.
Right, so
you
there's-
also, yes, there's many ways to do it. You can
Okay.
put in cardamom pod, you can infuse it with that.
Right.
Okay, this is like going, but we leave
Cool.
that. And now, the magic. The color happens.
Okay.
This is the rose water, which is the taste of Falooda.
Yes.
So you'll take 2 tablespoons, and I'll just do the eye. Kom uit rose
Oh,
water.
look at that.
And may I do yours?
Please go ahead. Yes, the keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. That's Clover to 33728. If you want to get your hands on the ingredients list and a link to the recipe to our Falooda with Fatima this morning. And this is the milk obviously now infused with sugar and it's
Yes.
nicely chilled.
Yeah, some people use evaporated milk just to make it easy.
Okay.
And you'll put that in, and you'll see something happens now. Something magical. The colors, you'll see that pink. So I put this on.
I see. Look
It
at
matches.
you.
Don't go all the way because we're going to put the ice cream in.
Right.
Are you ready? Are you salivating?
I am. This looks delicious. And something also like you mentioned for a summer recipe, something when it's hot temperature, something to cool you down, enjoy after a meal, yes?
Look, you can have it any time you like.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay.
You know, there's no rules if you like something a lot.
There's no rules if you like something a lot. I like that.
So now it's the ice cream, delicious full cream ice cream. Okay, Ball, do you mind if I use
Go
my
for
hand?
it. Please go for it. Yes.
And we're going to drop it in gently.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to finish these guys off. That looks amazing. So fresh, so beautiful. And if you want to get your hands on the recipe, the keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. But hear those steps one more time.
You can have an exotic summer treat without having to travel across the globe with a Clover fresh milk Falooda. For this recipe, you'll need 1.5 cups of Clover fresh full cream milk, vermicelli noodles, 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream, 2 tablespoons of rose syrup, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of Falooda seeds. Pour the Clover fresh full cream milk into a pot. Add the sugar. Stir to combine and bring to the boil. Then bring the temperature down and simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. Allow to cool in the fridge. Place 1 tablespoon of soaked Falooda seeds in each serving glass. Add 1 tablespoon of rose syrup into each glass. Top with soaked vermicelli noodles. Add a scoop of vanilla ice cream to each glass. Fill the glasses with the milk mixture. Serve immediately. Enjoy a cross-continental dessert made with love in the comfort of your own home.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with love indeed by Fatima. That's Falooda. SMS the keyword Clover to 33728 to get your hands on the recipe. Now it's just about finishing it off quickly, Fatima.
Yes, this is the glamorous part.
Yeah.
We zhuzh it up a bit.
Right, so you got some chopped pistachios.
This is the pistachios. If you don't have, it's not in the budget, use other nuts or no nuts at all.
Okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. But we're going to now do a treat for Ian.
Oh, look at you. She's spoiling me today.
And that's it. And then we have a rose. Make sure it's the edible ones that you
Okay.
can. It's as simple as that.
So just pick some petals off.
And then a nice rose to the
Sure.
touch. And then the pretty
And she
straws.
went all out with beautiful little pink
A little
straws as
stir
well.
there. Can
Oh,
you see what happens?
and look at that now. That is magic in a cup, absolutely. Fatima, thank you very, very much for sharing this easy recipe, beautiful recipe as that, just as beautiful as you are.
Thank you
Thank you very much, Fatima. The keyword is Clover, SMS that to 33728. Check it out on our website as well, that's expressoshow.com.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
So who's more fun than a muddy puddle? Who brings all the joys, laughter and smiles to our faces? Of course, none other than Peppa Pig!
Dun, dun, dun.
And Peppa Pig is here in South Africa to spread the joy. And we have her in our studio. She's brought a special friend in, Ashley and George. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Great to have you here.
Georgie, love the little dinosaur, bro. Thank you so much for bringing your special friend as well. Ashley, you're a superstar. I'm a new father, and I didn't realize how big Peppa Pig is. So this role is quite a serious role.
Yeah,
you know?
Peppa Pig is somewhat of a superstar in the kids' entertainment world. She's quite amazing.
So a no-brainer to bring Peppa Pig out to South Africa. What's the vibe here? What are you wanting to achieve with this gorgeous little pig?
Absolutely. Peppa Pig has been in the motions for the last 2 years to bring her to South Africa. So we obviously just want to get absolutely everyone involved, everyone's kids, mums and dads, grandparents, to just come and join us on a brand new adventure and just have some muddy puddle fun with us.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I've heard that you didn't just bring Peppa Pig and not just George, but the whole family. Who have you brought with you?
Yes, so we have Mommy Pig, Daddy Pig, Peppa, George, and we have a few friends like Polly Parrot, Susie Sheep, Pedro Pony, and maybe a few more.
Oh my word, I love that. And you get to be a part of the actual adventure. I love Peppa's adventures. I was reading Peppa Pig loves Christmas to my little boy last night, because she does love Christmas.
She does. She loves all holidays, all Peppa.
No, she sets a wonderful example that we can all strive to. So what's the vibe here? Are you just wanting to have fun, or are the kids, do they need to do something? Do we have a role to play? And I speak of myself as a big kid.
Totally. It's a fully immersive show, so there's a lot of interaction, there's sing-alongs, there's dance-alongs, there's lots of interaction with the kids and parents even. Peppa, everyone should really get involved, and we really do encourage that sort of involvement in the show.
It sounds fantastic. I heard that you've got a quick little performance prep for us.
Yes,
You'd like to show us what we can expect?
Yes.
Should we just, okay, the stage is yours. There it is. You guys take
Hey,
it
get
away.
away, Peppa.
We'll just be
Go,
watching.
Georgie.
You go.
Go, Georgie.
Go.
When the rain stops pouring down and the sky is grey, then the sun peeks through the clouds and it's time to play.
We put on our raincoats and we put on our boots. Then we go outside and this is what we do.
Muddy puddles, splish splash, splish splash, what a lovely sound. Muddy puddles, splish splash, splish splash, puddles all around. Puddles all around.
We're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bing and a bong and a bing.
Bong bing boo, bing bong bing, bing bong bingly bangly boo. Bong bing boo, bing bong bing, bing bong bingly bangly boo.